I want to say that we got to become better people, right? And if we're going to become better people, we have to reach for higher forms of excellences in our individual lives. But we have to do so in pursuit of a more just world. And here I invoke James W.C. Pennington's The Fugitive Blacksmith. Pennington was the first African American to attend Yale. They wouldn't let him in class. He had to sit outside the classroom. First African American to receive an honorary degree from Heidelberg University in 1849. And he wrote I'm paraphrasing here, but he wrote in The Fugitive Blacksmith, he said, he described slavery as this vile monster. He said, what I will never forgive slavery for is that it robbed me of my education. It robbed me of my ability to kind of engage in ongoing self-development in some ways, right? He says, I've spent a lifetime trying to rid my tongue of the sound of slavery, but there's certain things that I cannot recoup because I wasn't exposed to it, he says. All I've tried to do is to make myself more efficient for good. And so here, Pennington expresses what, Emerson and others might describe as that self-loathing, that sense of shame, that a certain self is inadequate as he tries to reach for a higher self, but he can't because the world is organized in such a way that blocks him from becoming the kind of human being he imagines himself to be. So self-cultivation can't be a narcissistic enterprise. At least it ought not to be. It can't be an enterprise that is solely self-interested. It has to, in some way, be self-cultivation in pursuit of a more just world, because the world as it is gets in the way of us being better people. Now, how does King fit into this? When we give over ourselves to a leader, we stop the work of self-cultivation. We just engage in imitation. You see, so when we follow a leader, as opposed to work with people, as opposed to doing the work close to the ground, we actually arrest the hard work of becoming better people, if that makes sense. And so I'm not demonizing Dr. King, or I'm definitely not demonizing Malcolm X and Ella Baker. What I'm trying to do is to get us to stand in right relation with our exemplars, so that we can continue to find our voices. Because when we stop to follow them, we stop the hard work of reaching for higher forms of excellences. And so part of what I'm trying to do is to kind of disrupt the melodrama, right? We don't need heroes in that sense, because as a person who's committed to democracy, small d, heroes can be dangerous. Because, again, the hero comes in, resolves matters and the like, and then folk give over their responsibility to them, and the hero can become a tyrant at the blink of an eye. Right? That's all you got to do is think about Mugabe. Right, in the context of Zimbabwe, right? And so the point I'm trying to make here is that for me, I don't want the hero. I want heroic acts. And this is why I went to Emerson in this moment, and I have a very vexed relationship with the man from Concord. But I think, part of what I'm trying to do here is to say, when you read Representative Men, Emerson is looking to Goethe, he's looking to Shakespeare, he's looking to Montaigne, he's looking to these folks, but he's not looking to them to give himself over to them, to become a sycophant. Right? He says we must not become sacks and stomachs. Emerson says imitation is suicide. Well, what does he mean there, right? I don't want to read self-reliance in this adolescent way where we're just free to be who we are with no responsibilities to others. That's silly to me. But I am convinced, though, right, that Emerson's right when he says great people come into our lives such that they make possible even greater people. They become examples of what we're capable of. Sometimes most human beings don't see it, but that's okay. But what Malcolm's courage can be my own. Not that he's some unique figure, right, that has some quality that I can't approximate in my own life. Why? Right? So part of what I'm trying to suggest here is that the man that meant so much to me, and King did as well. I remember in the 8th grade, reciting I Have a Dream speech in Miss Mitchell's history class, verbatim, And going to Morehouse, Dr. King's statue is pointing at us from King's Chapel, right? I mean, we're baptized in King's waters, as it were. So he's important, critical to my own self-formation. But what does it mean to engage in the search for my own voice? And I say that not in a narcissistic way, but I'm trying to commend it to my fellows. What does it mean for you to search for your own voice?